it's okay. You can leave it up, and there's no strikes on your channel. It's not going to get deleted or anything, but that's actually my content, and you need to give me the money. So what happened was we issued, through our MCN, a copyright notice to a smaller YouTuber for some game mark footage that was included in their video. Now, we dug into what happened. It was not something we did maliciously, and it was not something that we did manually or on purpose at all. And what happened was our threshold for recognizing our video clips. So we enabled a feature through our MCN, or multi-channel network, that will look for our footage in other people's videos and claim against it. Because we've had big problems in the past with people just re-uploading our videos to these rando no-name channels, and it's actually a lot of my time personally to take those down. Like, I have to go fill out a whole form, and when I have to do like 6 or 8 of them a day, like it's very time consuming, and I'm sure you guys would rather me just spend my time making videos rather than taking down other people's re-uploads of them. So we enabled this feature, but what happened was the threshold was set very low. I think it was set to about 15 seconds of match. And so it grabbed benchmark footage, like screen cap of a benchmark that they also used, and claimed it. Now, all it was a matter of doing was saying, hey guys, what's up? And we said, oh, sorry about that. Reverse the claim. All you have to do is dispute the claim, and it'll send a notification back to whoever claimed it. We got that all sorted out, and we changed our threshold to a minute. Now, what happened this week was another YouTuber, in this case it was Adored TV, uploaded a video, and the kind of ironic thing about it was that, I think probably from his perspective, was that his video used a chunk of our video as sort of like validation that his take was correct. It was a clip of me agreeing with him. And then I think what happened was he got this notification, oh, by the way, Linus Media Group Inc., actually Fullscreen Inc., has claimed this content because it contains, however long, I think it was 57 seconds or whatever it was, of copyrighted content from this video from Linus Media Group Inc. I forget exactly what the wording of the notice that he got was, but apparently not being familiar with this wording, he thought, or like with this process, he thought that we had manually claimed the video and were taking his revenue. And what happened, anyway, the point is, I found out about it, we got it dealt with in about 10 minutes, it's all sorted out, we had some Twitter feuding, and we're good now, it's all water under the bridge. But what was really interesting about this whole ordeal was that it raised some really interesting conversations about what exactly is fair use and how does it work. A lot of people seemed to think that it was as simple as, when people thought that this was me manually claiming his money, it was like, I don't know what the AdSense on it would be, like $60 by the time I had looked at it. Like, it didn't have a ton of views yet.
It's definitely worth the drama. I can understand the business decision there.
I need that $60 that badly. I really do. And to be clear, once it's reversed, it all goes back to the original creator. I don't keep any of it, even if it was like claimed by me for 2 hours or whatever. So people seem to think that this was like me being evil and not understanding fair use and like, Linus, this is clearly fair use. The thing about fair use is that it's actually not cut and dried. What it is it's for others, not for...
For things you can argue in court, basically.
Yes. And you actually, I'm glad you mentioned argue in court, because the way that it works is you actually have to argue these things. And there's no clear measurement for, what people had all kinds of thoughts about how fair use worked. Well, it was a minute of content, but it was only 4% of the total video because it was a much longer video. Therefore, it's fair use. No, that's not how that works. Or people said, well, he wasn't saying anything mean about Linus, so it's fair use. Which again, no, it's
I'd almost say if you were
works.
saying something mean, it would probably be easier to place it as a review and you'd probably get by with it almost more easily in the eyes of a jury or something.
Well, it depends, because if it was defamatory, then you could make the argument that its effect on the potential market was very negative, because he's effectively attacking the opinion of someone who lives and dies, or the reputation of someone who lives and dies by their reputation. So, but that's what it is. So that's why it really doesn't matter how much of it was, or all these arbitrary things that people seem to have latched onto as like, what definitely makes something fair use. Fair use is an argument. It is not a set of rules. Necessarily applicable in every jurisdiction around the world. So you could very easily be infringing on the copyright of some developer in Lithuania or something. To be clear, I know absolutely nothing about Lithuanian copyright law, but fair use might not necessarily apply. And if somehow they manage to get you dragged in legal proceeding, it might not go. I do that. Maybe you have a stopover Lithuania on the way to wherever it is you're flying to once the world returns to normal. But the point is, somehow they get you extradited. The point is, fair use is not as simple as people seem to think that it is. The very a game streamer, and therefore streaming games is fair use. No. Not to the law. But in the same way that you would have to make your argument to a court about why what you're doing is fair use, argument to a court about that it is not fair use, which is why, as we saw with that whole H3H3 thing that went down a couple years ago now, I think it was, this kind of legal proceeding can get very long, very drawn out, and very, very expensive, which is why it's far better. So back to what the law is versus what you should do, it's far better to just not put this much work and money into doing nothing but pissing off your customers and just let people game stream. So that's why Alex Hutchinson's take is bad. Not because he's wrong, but because it's a bad, dumb take.
It's just stupid. And a lot of the verbiage that he used was him saying what people should do. Not what is like entirely within their rights or what like they're capable of. He was like, no, this is how it should work, blah, blah, blah. And no, that's really dumb. So that was a bad take. And that's why it was so bad. I think he could have gotten what I'm hoping was his point across in a different way if he didn't use that type of wording. I also think it is truly hilarious that he isn't attributing the artist for his cover photo. That is like, that really makes this whole thing like so much worse. And the fact that Jacksepticeye posted that, I'm sure he saw Jacksepticeye's post.
I doubt it. Jacksepticeye, he's a pretty small figure in the gaming space. He's probably never heard of him.
the fact that he hasn't responded and like, I don't know, apologize.
Or just changed it. Fine.
Or changed it.
Yeah, you don't want to own your mistake? Fine. Quietly change it then. Do something. Why is it still there?
Do you remember how I said like it had a lot of traction, but it didn't have like the interaction you would want? I was pointing out the like comments versus likes and stuff.
Yeah, did you see how many times he radioed?
Yeah, basically, Jacksepticeye's post got 48,000 likes. His got 5.1.
Yeah, I forget who I saw who just posted. I think it was Pokimane. Was just like, I'm gonna just put this here so that you can see how badly you're gonna get ratioed or something like that.
Oh my god! Yeah, that probably blew up.
Oh lordy, so dumb.
I only learned that term today, by the way.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Me too.
Ratioed? Yeah.
Yeah. I learned it from this. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's funny. I've seen that happen before. I'm glad we have a word for that. You know what else I'm glad we have a word for? Our
Sponsor
sponsors.
spots.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't even care anymore. Honey sponsored the show today, so I can tell you all about their browser extension that helps you find the best promo codes when you shop online. Those of you who downloaded Honey from our link saved over $100,000 in the last few months. They're in over 30,000 stores, including Amazon, eBay, Newegg, Razor, Best Buy, Walmart, and more. Honey gets a small commission from the sites where they save you money. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks, and you can get it at joinhoney.com/Linus. For a limited time, you can even get $5 deposited directly into your Venmo account. That's pretty sweet if you use Venmo for whatever reason. Maybe Venmo is a thing that makes more sense in other places. So do you know what Venmo even is? What is Venmo?
I think it's like a PayPal style thing that is often used for direct payments between people. More often, like PayPal is often used for person to company. I think Venmo is often used for person to person. I don't think it's really a thing in Canada.
Yeah, because we have email money transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's not called email money transfer anymore. It's e-transfer. Yeah.
No, it's
Man,
the old one.
when
It's the old
EMT
one.
first came out, I was like, this is amazing. Because it was the best thing ever. You didn't have to take cash to in-person Craigslist deals and stuff anymore. You could just send an email money transfer, and e-transfer, and then they could validate it right there, and then you could both leave, and you didn't have to have any cash on you, which was really nice. The show is also brought to you by Wondershare PDF Element. This is a new one. PDF Element is an all-in-one smart PDF editor that offers the easiest way to create, edit, convert, annotate, and sign PDF documents on Windows and Mac. You can convert any PDF to and from Microsoft Word, Excel. Why would you want to convert a PDF to or from Excel? I guess it doesn't matter why. It matters that you can. And PowerPoint without losing any formatting. You can easily collect analysis-ready data from your clients by fillable PDF forms from paper or existing electronic files, and search for word text through large PDF files. You can add certified digital signatures to help recipients validate document authenticity and integrity, and you can click the link in the description to get 50% off PDF Element. Let's go ahead and... That's funny. Wondershare, I think, has been reaching out to us literally for years to work together, and they finally have a product that's like, yeah, okay, that seems pretty good. Cool. Well, I think before they were trying to get us to review something, and I was like, yeah, we don't review these kinds of software tools. So this makes way more sense.
We gotta bring LSD back.
LSD.
You don't remember that, do you? You named
Linus
it that.
Software, Luke's Software. Shoot, what was the D for?
Discovery, I think, or something.
I love the D. Luke's Software Discoveries. That's what it was.
You can just call it Linus, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I don't know. It's really hard to find things that are good enough to talk about for that amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
When it's software.
And finally, the show is brought to you by Redux. Redux offers hardware with no markup pricing, only a $75 build fee. So you would pay to buy the parts yourself. So what you would pay to buy the parts yourself would be the same as you pay with Redux with expertly built PCs, plus they give you a 2-year warranty for parts and labor. You can explore the website and get a PC optimized for the games you play in as easy as a few clicks, and use the online PC builder to customize what's going on inside based on the you want to play. That's basically the same thing I just said. Redux believes in bringing PC gaming to the masses, and that's why they only charge a small build fee and won't cut corners on quality. You can go to buildredux.com or click the link in the description to enter to win an RTX 3080. Wow, that's like a $3,000 value, depending on how you want to do the math. On that subject, why don't we talk about who dumped this one in the dock? Anthony posted this in the dock. A large Danish retailer going by the name of ProShop has released statistics for the RTX 30 series sales and the orders that they've shipped. And let me put it this way. It doesn't look promising. It brokey. ProShop ordered 16 SKUs for each class of GPU from Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, and Inno3D. And here are the statistics as of October 22nd, which was yesterday. ProShop ordered 2,012 units. Of that, 309 have been delivered or are incoming, which is a fulfillment rate of 15%. 312 unfilled orders, with 161 delivered to customers, making for a delivery rate of 34%. 65% if you count the confirmed incoming cards, but those have not technically shipped to customers yet, in spite of the fact that these cards have been available for weeks. For the RTX 3080, wow, that's 90? They've
Yeah.
only shipped 309 to Pro Shop? Okay, all right. Wow, that's a lot of GPU. How many people, like, that many people are buying $1,500 graphics cards? Okay, sorry. No wonder NVIDIA, like, has enough money to buy ARM. RTX 3080. ProShop says they ordered 9,010 and have received 871, including those which are incoming, a fulfillment rate of 9.7%. They have... Luke's laughing. He's reading ahead of me here. They have 3,772 unfilled orders and have managed to deliver only 504 to customers, a delivery rate of 12% or 20% if we count the confirmed incoming cards. Now, they've even put RTX 3070 numbers in here, which is interesting because RTX 3070 has not launched and the embargo hasn't lifted yet, but they apparently pre-ordered 4,330. I mean, they might as well have just pre-ordered 40,000 for all it matters. Like, they're only going to get however many they get. Only got... Ooh. So these early figures indicate that NVIDIA's stock situation may not have improved since the delay of the RTX 3070. And it's funny because that was like, wasn't that why they said they were delaying the RTX 3070 so that they could build up more stock?
Yeah.
And like, again, the funny thing is like RTX 3070 is a completely different GPU. Like, it's not even a GA102. It's a GA... I don't know if this is public information. Tech Power Up says it is a GA104. I think. No, Tech Power Up does not say that. Let's find someone who says it is. Video cards is the... Okay. Videocards.net. I just need someone I can cite here. Yeah, videocards.net says that the 3070 is a GA104 GPU. There you go. So it's a completely different GPU. Now, it is built on the same 8nm Samsung process, according to videocards.net. Here, see, look. there, it's on there. See, look, it's on there. Right there, it's in my face. And that's a substantial sized nose, Luke, let me tell you. So you could argue that... You could argue it two ways. You could say, okay, well, I can see why they can't deliver any 3080s because they're busy shipping all the GA102s as 3090s, which cost twice as much or whatever. And then you could say, you know, with 3070, well, there's no excuse because all the good GA104s should just go straight into 3070s. But the thing is, because it's built on the same process node from Samsung, however much 8nm waferage they've managed to get booked is pretty much the bottleneck for how many of these cards total they can actually build. So what I think, this is just a guess, this is a total hot take, and it may be just as bad as the one from Alex Hutchinson earlier, but probably not. What I think is that NVIDIA delayed the launch of the 3070 so that they could build up inventory of the 3080 and the 3090. I don't think that they've been beating away building up inventory of 3070, because if I was NVIDIA and I had any fab allocation, I'd say, you print them 3090s, baby. You print them 3090s real good. And then if you print a bad one, yeah, we're going to ship that as a 3080. We ship as many of these as we possibly can, because RTX 3070 is supposed to be, let me just make sure, MSRP, blah, 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 according to Tom's Guide, it's going to be $500. Making it a far, far smaller transaction from NVIDIA's standpoint. Now, because you want to maintain a good relationship with your customers, you definitely do want to ship some of these. I can just see why they wanted to give themselves a little bit of time. It is pretty clear to me at this point that NVIDIA went super aggressive on their RTX 3000 pricing, knowing full well that they were not going to be able to ship enough of them, just as a gigantic to Sony, Microsoft, and AMD, because there is no reason why they couldn't have charged 20% more for these, 30% more for them. You can see it. People are paying that price on eBay. People are desperate for something to finally run their games faster. It's been so long, if you're a high-end consumer, that they could have pretty much charged whatever they wanted for them. but it's very clear that they came in at these prices knowing they weren't going to have enough out of the gate because they wanted to put pressure on their competition. And the problem is that if I'm NVIDIA, I can't launch them at a high price today and then drop my price 6 weeks later, 8 weeks later when the new consoles launch or when AMD launches a competitor, because then I look reactionary. So NVIDIA pretty much had to shoot themselves in the foot to avoid shooting themselves in the face. If you think about it from like a 1,000-foot strategic view.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Jensen. I mean, not really, because I think he has a new leather jacket for every day of the week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's a pretty difficult person to feel bad for, especially financially.
Kitchen costs as much as my house, but
yeah,
it's a nice kitchen. You seen that kitchen, Luke?
Just the oven, dude.
You
just
seen that
the
kitchen?
Oven. Just the what looks like the marble backdrop to the oven, carved by ancient Greeks. Yeah. I think just that might cost as much as, like, I don't know. Definitely my apartment.
All right. Now, something to bear in mind about all of these figures is that NVIDIA's is that Europe has largely gotten the short end of the stick with respect to RTX 3000 series allocation, apparently, allegedly. And it's important to keep in mind that Denmark itself is relatively tiny with a population of just 5.8 million as of 2019.
But the orders were placed. I don't know if that's very relevant.
Oh, it's relevant. It's relevant.
Why would the population of the area be relevant versus the orders placed?
Because what I can tell you is that coming from a retailer in a relatively small region, because compared to China or the US, Canada is a relatively small region.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The kinds of orders that we would place would be very different from what someone like a Newegg would place. So in the same way, we might order, okay, so let's look at ProShop. So Canada was a, hold on a second, I'm getting Teams messages here. Bug me Monday, please don't message right now. It pings the whole WAN show. Smiley face. Okay. So Canada, right. So we might order 5,000 units of RTX 3090. We might try to back order 5,000 units. By comparison, someone like a Newegg might have 80,000 units on back order. Totally different scale. So,
but do you think that would affect? So you think that would affect the fulfillment rate of those orders, though?
I think that it can have a weight because here's what you got to understand. In the event that all of a sudden NVIDIA suddenly magically figures out their production and they actually use GPUs, you have to be able to sell them. So there's a number of factors at play here. One is how many you want to order to indicate your, what you think you can sell, right? How many NVIDIA actually thinks you can sell. And remember that they have a ton of historical data to go on because these are retailers that they'll have been working with for years. And board partners that they've been working with for years. And even going back to when I was in the business, this is not the kind of thing that NVIDIA will just leave to their board partners like an ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, and Inno3D. Like NVIDIA, particularly right at launch, is going in and hand allocating based on who they think can actually move the inventory, who they think is strategically more important from like a marketing and visibility standpoint.
I was actually gonna try to bring that up because I bet you, despite this literally happening, and this is evidence that is going to be against what I'm gonna say, I would suspect the American/North American crowd would probably be a little bit more screechy about these types of problems than a lot of other demographics. And so you might want to allocate to them a little bit more because of that.
And even within a region, you might find particular customers that are going to be louder and more upset and or make more sense to support, like your system integrators. NVIDIA has a long and storied history of making sure that system integrators, who rather than selling one card, are selling an entire gaming experience to who is effectively an NVIDIA customer at the end of the day. You could make the argument that those are more important. Those are more timely because whoever's ordering an individual card presumably already has a graphics card of order ordering a full system may not actually have a functioning system. So there's all kinds of factors that come into play when they're deciding how to do these things. I remember one of them being, I can't remember what card this was, and whatever. Whatever NDA I signed at NCIX, I can't imagine it still applies. But I remember this one time when I think this was in the Fermi days. So this would be was it 480? Something like that. Maybe it was 285. I don't remember. It was a period of time where NVIDIA was not particularly competitive. And what they essentially wanted us to do must have been 280 or 285. I'm sorry. It escapes me when exactly it was. It was a time when NVIDIA wasn't particularly competitive in the mid-range. And they basically were like, you're allowed to order 100 of these like cards everyone wants, but you have to take like 600 of these ones that like nobody wants. And I was like, okay, but like, how am I going to sell 600, like 9,600 GSs or whatever? I don't remember what it was. I really wish that I did. 'Cause I was like, how on earth am I going to move these? Like, you guys know back at NCIX, like we would by a unit count, we would sell more of an $800 graphics card than an $80 graphics card because it just wasn't our business. Meanwhile, the Best Buy right down the street would sell 20 to 1 of that $80 card versus the $800 card. It's just different customers, different expectations.
I worked at that Best Buy down the street. We did not move the expensive cards. It did like ever.
Exactly.
It collected dust.
Exactly. So I remember that sometimes allocation of a product you want is dependent on how much you can move of a product that NVIDIA is trying to get rid of. Now, NVIDIA hasn't been in a position where they've had to really get rid of anything in like many years now. They've had a lot, they've ridden from one success to another. But I know that used to affect things. So there's the relationship, there's the optics from like an outsider standpoint of like who should be getting cards. There's the history. There's the, how much are they scratching your back? How much do you want to scratch their back? It's business. It's business, guys. It's not as simple as like, well, I placed an order, so I should get it. And this is the kind of stuff that consumers can't and shouldn't have to care about. But at the end of the day, if you want to understand what's going on, you sort of have to. What do you want me to tell you?
Those are going to be the things that we're suddenly concerned with now that these numbers were published. Yep. I wonder how their order is going to get filled after publishing this information.
Probably not too great. Do you want a pro tip, by the way, guys? If you want to get a card, one of the best ways to get one is instead of queuing up for a SKU that already exists, wait for a new launch of like Asus is doing a Gundam edition card, for example. You will pay more, but it'll cost you less than scalping one of the other ones on eBay, and you will probably get, a brand new card with a warranty from a retailer versus having to wait for it. So waiting around for like a Kingpin edition or FTW 76 Super Clock Plus KO, whatever their stupid suffixes are now over at EVGA. So if you wait around for a new SKU launch, typically if on Asus or an EVGA or whatever, I'm squirreling away enough GPUs so that I can do a launch, even though I know that it's going to sell it right away. And I saw people just order like the wrong SKU and just sit in the queue like forever, especially if it's an entry-level one. Because if I'm an EVGA, what's my higher priority? I want to fill every customer order, and I will eventually fill your order, I promise. But which one am I going to prioritize more? An FTW3 ACS cooler super clock that I make, $60 or $70 on, or a base model one at the basic NVIDIA suggested MSRP where I make like $35 a card. Well, probably the one that keeps my business running, right? What do you want? That's just the reality of it. There's not a lot of margin in this for board partners.
That's how everything is going to work at like every company ever.
Yeah, and even the ones that by and large have a strong ethical base to them and really care about their customers and love their customers, they still have to keep the doors open. So they have to.
And they can do both, but there's going to be priority levels on things.
Of course. All right, what else do we want to talk about today? We have only gotten through 2 topics. I blame Luke. He talked for so long about that first, and I could get a word in edgewise. That Luke, he's always talking so.
I was ripping through that thing.
We've got some alleged RX 6800 XT benchmarks. These are from Video Cards. Now, they're not actual games, which means that, like, who cares? But
Means they're super lame, but it's still kind of cool.
Keep talking, Luke.
No,
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't like that they're actual games. I don't like that it's like Time Spy, Fire Strike, and what's the other one?
Port
Boat
Royal
or something. Port Royal. Yeah,
Did you
Boat
say
came
Boat?
into mind because I remember Port.
3D Mark Boat. I think you're thinking of Aquamark, and it's a submarine.
There's your new idea, 3D Mark. Just make one called Boat.
Boat.
But yeah, no, there you go. Perfect. Do it. I'd benchmark my computer on that, guaranteed. Yeah, it does. I mean, it does well. It crushes in Fire Strike Ultra. It succeeds quite strongly in. Doesn't great in Port Royal, but if I remember correctly, Port Royal's like entirely ray tracing based.
So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still maybe the whole all red computer thing is more legit than I had potentially thought. And I think honestly, as long as AMD doesn't like trip, fall, and smash their face with this launch, I think it'll be great.
They're going to end up. They'll look like good guys.
Yeah, they'll look like good guys. They'll be able to sell cards because no one else can buy the other cards.
Yeah.
So like, hooray! They just need to not. Yeah, they need to not completely fumble the launch, and then
I believe in
think
AMD.
they'll be good. Yeah,
but I believe in them both ways. I believe that they can not fumble a launch, and I believe that they can hard fumble a launch. I love those guys, but they've done some doofus stuff over the years. This is an interesting one. Tyler Witt says, and do you follow the logic here? Tyler Witt in the YouTube chat says, "This is not pre-recorded. Look at how oily their hair is."
My hair's not oily.
Oh, mine is, but I still don't follow the logic. Because my hair is oily, this couldn't possibly be pre-recorded?
I guess he's saying, like, if we were going to pre-record it, we would put enough prep in to, like, wash our hair. Which is a misguided statement, sure.
He clearly doesn't know us at all. Like,
yeah.
That's not a thing that I would do. All right. Intel has sold their NAND storage to SK Hynix. In March 2020, Intel's CFO George Davis said the company was unable to sell enough SSDs to make a profit from the 3D NAND chips it made at its Dalian, China factory. Said they were exploring options such as closing the factory and buying chips from others, selling chips to third parties, and buying SSDs from a third party. They've reached a deal to sell their flash memory business to SK Hynix for about $9 billion. So they'll be getting the majority of Intel's memory business plus the memory manufacturing options in Dalian. They will not be getting the Optane division. So Optane clearly has more margin in it, and Intel held on to it. So market share was about 11%. This will give Hynix roughly 20% market share overall compared to Samsung at 31%, Kioxia at 17%. SK Hynix does have a 15% stake in Kioxia, though. WD at 16% and Micron at 13.7%.
I'm actually pretty surprised at how big WD's stake is.
Yeah, I'm not, because remember they bought SanDisk way back.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's all SanDisk. It's nothing to do with like conventional WD like spinning rust business. Speaking of conventional business, LTTstore.com. So we actually got 2 of our winners from the Stealth Pins shirt giveaway. You're not by any chance wearing a Stealth Pins shirt, are you?
No.
Bummer. Okay. Oh, you're wearing GPU. All right. Oh, you know what shirt I'm wearing?
Floatplane? Nice.
Floatplane! I put it on this morning. I was like, you know what? We should do a big shout out for Floatplane over on the WAN show today. So that's what I meant to do.
We should, and we have a specific shout out for Floatplane today.
We do, but
later.
First I need to tell people to make sure they're subscribed because I've got a big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen's Secret Shopper is back! Was that too loud? Did I clip?
I
tried to move away from the mic.
Your it's got rid of the audio.
Oh, okay. Well, Secret Shopper is back, baby. Secret Shopper is coming for you. And it's too late for any of the system integrators to do anything about it. We have already gone through our entire purchase process. We have already gone through our tech support challenge. The system integrators that are included this year are iBuyPower, CyberPower, Dell HP, Maingear, and Origin PC. So we are going to see what, if anything, these system builders have learned in the last 2 years. Let me tell you right away, spoiler alert, some of them learned a lot, some of them learned a whole lot of nothing. Some of them got worse, which is shocking, considering which ones got worse. So you are going to see those videos early over on floatplane.com, not to mention that we've got, yeah, that's right, we're going to have them windowed. So they're going to be coming probably sometime in the next couple of few weeks here or so. Jake's been hard at work on this season. I'm going to be Agent 006.9. We are going for a Bond theme this year. David and Jake have been hard at work making it fun. So I posted a very small teaser a while back on social media of like a poker table. So like that's one of the sets for it. We're doing like a casino kind of
Casino Royale
style.
thing.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I take it you guys are done filming.
We are done filming. Yeah. Well, we're not done filming. We're not done filming the like.
You've done the whole ordering process.
The whole ordering and tech support process. So
cool.
It's too late for any of these system integrators to have any say in what happens or to, beef up their phone lines or anything because they know Secret Shoppers happen. It's been so long, I guarantee you some of them like totally got complacent. Anyway, so yeah, guys, get subscribed on Floatplane, early access when we get to it, and also some like exclusive behind the scenes stuff.
You know what the funny part is about the Secret Shopper part?
Yeah.
I haven't talked about you guys doing that in a long time, but in the last 2 weeks, I have had 2 people talk to me and be like, I know, but I'm not going to build it myself. Also, I want a 3000 series, and this is a pretty decent way to get one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm doing a pre-build. Do you have any suggestions? And I've linked them the Secret Shopper series. I've been like, it's a little out of date, but you should still like check this out. And now you're updating it. That's fantastic.
Yep. We've been meaning to do it we meant to make it an annual thing. So it clearly took us a hot minute to get to that. But Derby Smith asks, can we get a Floatplane shirt? When we get the Creator Warehouse and Floatplane integration working, we will totally be able to do like little exclusive drops and stuff. No. Yeah, we'll be able to do that, but right now it's not set up for it. So yeah, sorry about that. We will though. Right, so the other thing I wanted to say, stealth pins. So our CPU stealth pins shirt on lttstore.com, where I'll just pull it up here. This one right here. There are a handful of these out there. So see how there's kind of like an LTT logo in the pins? There are 3 of these out there that do not say LTT. If you got one of them, you won a gaming system. All you got to do is reach out to the LTT store support, prove to them that you got one that doesn't say LTT, and they're going to know what it says, so you're not going to be able to fake it with Photoshop. And you will get a Corsair Vengeance gaming PC equipped with a Core i7 10850K, RTX 3080, 32 gigs of memory, a 1 terabyte M.2 with 2 terabytes of spinning Rust. So 2 of them have been claimed, but 1 of them is still out there. So if you bought a Stealth Pin CPU shirt, guys, let's go, boys. Go check your shirt. Don't wait. Just run. Go look at it now. See if it says LTT or not.
It's not mine because I technically never got one.
Yeah, no, and we wouldn't have given it to you. Like, what?
No.
Also, I kind of alluded to this before, but I can't guarantee, if we'll ever do anything like this again or whatever. But we did another giveaway stealthily. So the foil T-shirt, which I think sold out to WAN Show viewers. Not misprints, by the way. Sorry, misprints. You paid half price for your shirt, but there were no prize ones mixed in. So we have randomly selected winners from our foil keyboard shirt buyers. So if you notice something weird about your order when it arrives, reach out to support, and there may be an awesome surprise in store for you.
Very cool.
Some of the foils might be different colors to indicate something or other. Oh, let's see what they are. All right. Is there anything else we really want to talk about? PayPal to support cryptocurrencies? Wow. Okay.
I want to talk about a new Floatplane entry.
Sure.
Yeah. We actually have two new Floatplane entries. Craft TV. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
Craft TV.
I just merged both the names together.
What a bad guy.
Lawn TV and Craft Computing, two different creators, not one creator that I zombified together, have both joined a Floatplane very recently. Check out Craft Computing. I know you guys did a collab together recently, actually.
We did. That's actually very serendipitous timing, because I don't think I even knew you were working on that.
I'm working on things, man. They're coming together.
I didn't say you're not working on things. I just said I didn't know you were working on that.
Yeah. And he's actually one of the first. Oh, he has 17 subs already. He has his numbers public. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
He is one of the first creators to use the multi-content post feature. So he has one video that is actually 6 videos. Pretty cool. Yeah, check it out.
All right. Let me just see if there's anything else. EA is getting sued for loot boxes in Canada. Class action lawsuit saying EA has been profiting off of an illegal gambling business by selling random loot boxes for cash.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Similar to a suit in California that says FIFA's Ultimate Team Mode is effectively gambling. Yep, sounds about right. It's about time. The thing is, like, why did game developers and publishers, why did they have to push the limit? Like, if they had just chilled a little bit, if they had just kept it small instead of being the thing that funds game development, they could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those darn kids gambling.
There was
the kids who were gambling
that are like I think genuinely very accepted by the majority of the community. Like, I don't know these days. I know there's been some changes to the store and how it works and stuff, but I don't know how it works because I don't play anymore. But League of Legends, at its inception, had some like negative feedback at first because they were honestly pretty early on the like microtransactions game. But everyone was usually okay with it. It was a free game, and you could buy some skins for heroes that you cared about and whatever else. Like that was pretty accepted. But in games like especially MMOs, where you have to like pay for the box and for expansions and monthly, and they have a cash shop. For games where you have to pay like full fat, like $60-$70 for the game, and there's content that was like clearly held from being like a cool quest reward or something in the game and has now been put into a cash shop. Like that kind of stuff is just ridiculous. And like you know that it's negatively affecting the game to a certain degree because a lot of this stuff is like some of the best art assets that they have. And it could have like definitely been some like cool reward for accomplishing something, whatever it is. But instead it's like, nope, $20 or more.
AJ in Floatplane chat says, hey, you should really show the Floatplane page for Craft Computing, so I'm going to do that. There you go. Floatplane page. That's what it looks like. Got the subscribers up in there. Got the tiers over in there. There you go. That's what that's supposed to look like. Hey, there you go, AJ. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, getting this. Man designs McBroken, a site that displays all the broken ice cream machines in all McDonald's. A site that shows you where McDonald's ice cream machines are broken, so you don't accidentally go to one that has a broken thing. Interesting. So the developer Rashik Zahid came up with McBroken after realizing that the online order site can be used to determine if their ice cream machine is working or not. If you can't order a cone, it's broken. He then exploited that flaw and wrote a bot that tries to order an ice cream cone at every McDonald's in the USA and reports back onto a map. That is hilarious. This comes after much trial and error. Initially, he created an API that attempted to add a McSunday from every McDonald's location to its cart once every minute, and the app figured out what he was up to and blocked him. He then determined he can make an API call. Sorry. He then determined that he can make an API call every 30 minutes undetected. So he now has a bot that can tell the real-time ice cream status twice an hour. That's hilarious.
It's amazing that 7.16% of all of them are down. And like certain areas, like I wonder if this correlates with how many, like how much ice cream is being sold. And I wonder if you can compare that to like how hot it is in that area. So how much people are looking for like cold refreshments. But yeah, Phoenix, Arizona, 15.56% of ice cream machines are down.
That's so frustrating because like I've gone to McDonald's for the express purpose of getting an ice cream because like I don't know what the heck else you would eat there, and the ice cream machine's been broken and like, yeah, I'm choked. Like I'm choked.
It is a bit of a meme. Like it does happen a lot. So yeah,
hilarious.
Scrolling in on the map of Phoenix and seeing how many red dots there are is kind of crazy, actually.
Let's go ahead and get through a few super chats, and then we're gonna call it. Robert Mail says, the RIAA is coming for your GitHub repos. Downloading videos is now circumvention of technological protection measures. Oh, okay. Philip says, hey. Hey, Philip. What's up, Mona Lisa? Brandon, no, I cannot adopt you. Sorry. Andre says, the first time I catch WAN Show live at almost 3 a.m. here in Italy. Well, you've probably gone to bed now by the time I read your super chat. Sorry about that. Daniel Woods says, message retracted. Way to go, Daniel.
Nice.
Yeah, still read your thing anyway.
Worth it.
Janko Flex says, up in the middle of the night here in Sweden with my 4-day-old son. He seems to like the show as well as his older sister. Keep it up. You are my daughter's favorite YouTube star. All right, thank you.
Nice.
Nader, I love that Twitch streamers are trying to say they're promoting the songs and saying DMCA is a group of people, not a law. Welcome to real copyright policy, which is what YouTube has had for years. Yeah, streamers who think that they're going to be able to get away with songs. Yeah, you got away with the whole game thing. Feel lucky. I agree with that aspect of what's his name's.
There is. So
Alex Hutchinson's take.
I'm not feeling it this much for songs, but there is some art there, and there have been some artists that have come out and either directly worked with their publisher to make sure that it's okay to play their songs on Twitch, or expressed that they don't agree with how their publisher is treating it, because especially streamers that accredit properly and like will show like a Spotify thing in the bottom corner, it'll show what's currently playing, etc. I could see that as being good promotion. And
or where to buy link, whatever, because it's all about what's the impact on the original work, right?
So if you're making it so that, because like if I go to a stream and there's a song playing and I dig it and I can't relatively easily figure out what that song is, that's silly, unless they have the rights to do that. But I think if they're like actively promoting the music, if I was a musician, I would probably want that to happen, because I don't gain anything from it not being played. And I don't think there's any opportunity cost there. I don't think someone's going to go, oh, I'm going to watch this streamer because I can listen to this specific song instead of watching it on YouTube. It's almost certainly going to be and also be free or somewhere else. Like I honestly, in general, I don't agree with the music argument, and I think in almost every case, as long as it's properly attributed, the music artist is gaining quite a bit by it being on Twitch. But the same as the game argument, it's still in their court, and they should be able to make that decision. I think they are improperly making that able to make that decision.
Like the music industry hasn't set this precedent that you're just like allowed to use music in your other art. They do not consider you can't make a movie and be like, yeah, we're gonna put Playing with the Boys in our movie, and it's transformative enough because our movie is the art and this is just supplemental. Like music has been considered integral as part of the greater viewing experience of whatever other type of medium it's integrated with. In such a way that's really poorly worded. The point is, music has never been seen as having been transformed by visuals set to it. It has
Oh,
never worked that way. So there's no precedent for them to have to give in this way. And the other part is that while game developers are directly off their customers by not allowing Twitch streamers to play the games on stream, music labels don't seem to see it that way, even though if they're making the argument that people listening to it on the stream is digging into their sales, then they do understand they're their customers. I don't know. Maybe they think that gamers don't listen to music.
I think a lot of music labels are treating this improperly for in regards to their own benefit, and I think they would be much better off if they actually let the streamers play the songs. But